When making my front cover, I looked at the covers of magazines from Q. Because of this, my magazine cover may replicate certain features of the two magazine covers I used as my style model. However, I have changed them enough to create my own house style and show off my skills. I used a quotation from the article to hook the audience. I used a different font and a larger size to make it stand out. The main storyline dominates the front page and has the photo to link with the storyline. The storyline has straplines which adds more information and provides a bigger hook for the reader. The main image is positioned in front of the masthead like most magazines. It is just positioned and reaching out at the audience to appeal to them and grabbing their attention. Just like most magazines, my masthead is in the top left-hand corner of the page. This is usually typical with magazines. The magazine name normally has to stand out and be recognisable. This is to catch the reader's eye and publicises the magazines in shops. My masthead is a rectangle shaped, whereas my style model's mastheads are square shaped. This is to make the magazine look bold and clear at the top of a busy front page. My main image on the front of the page covers half of the masthead, however this doesn't usually matter as a masthead is used in every magazine by the company. This means it becomes recognisable. I use banners, which is a common convention of magazines, however not on Q magazines. My style model did not have a banner, just a small one positioned on the masthead. My banner was spread out along the top of the front page. It is a simple 3-font colour scheme. It has a limited number of fonts and colours, which is a common magazine convention. When searching for style models, I decided to look at Q magazine again. Q magazine have a double page contents which I feel allow us to add much more information. You can add more photos and more information, which is what I wanted to do. As shown in the Q magazine, the masthead is placed in the top left corner. I mirrored this and whenever I included my masthead, which was in my contents page and front cover, it was always there. Another aspect of my contents page is the layout of the original contents page and my contents page are similar, as in the photos and text are similar. Another aspect of my contents is that it was created due to inspiration from the style models in the blocks used to highlight the subheadings from the contents list. The thicker red lines to separate each page in the magazine and issue number and read contents are in a large red banner along the top, and the features of the magazine is in a thicker red bar above the photo. Q magazine contents page are ordered, neat and simplistic. The photos are evenly spaced and are similar in size to make the layout look neat. The writing in the contents column and feature column are spaced evenly as well, and they are directly beneath one another. Another similarity between the two contents pages are the use of live images from concerts. This gives a hint to the content of the rest of the magazine. The use of page numbers on the top of each image in the Q magazine is also used in my own. Numbers are used to help guide the reader throughout the rest of the magazine. When looking for a style model for my double page article, I also looked again at Q magazine. Since Q is a similar kind of magazine to the one I wanted to make, I decided to refer to it for help and ideas. The colour is it turn off?
No.
Oh, right. The colour scheme is continued in the article. This links to the front page, which creates an iconic house style that will be recognisable in the marketplace to my audience. Double pages are good for articles as you can include photos and more information, which in this case is the article I have written. My style model is similar to my actual work. The top half of the double page is dominated by a landscape photo which was taken from inspiration from my style model. The photo the style model uses is of a similar shot to the one I used. I used this photo to focus on the background more and felt like the photo set the scene. I decided to link my artist to the mise-en-scène, which is relevant. In this case, my artist is from Tyneside and decided to take the photo at the quayside in Newcastle, which is a perfect link and makes sense. It is also relatable with the audience as people will recognise the area and associate the artist with it. Like my style model, I have split my article into 4 columns with an introduction just like you have done. I think doing this makes it easy to read and follow. It used a conventional layout mixing illustration and columns. The text is written in black with the questions being in red for the interview. The questions are in red, which I did to follow the house style colours of the magazine. The model in my photo is staring directly at the camera, which shows a clear facial expression and gives a strong connection with the audience. I used a pun, Time to Adjust, as my title for the article, which links back to the mise-en-scène and the artist's background story. The pun also adds hints to what the article is about and adds an element of humour that the audience can connect with. I also added a quotation to suck in the audience and give an insight to what the interview might be about. At the bottom, under the title, I added a small introduction which gave background information about the artist. This idea was taken from the small introduction in my style model. I think that an introduction is important in an article as it helps attract readers who may be undecided as to whether or not to read the article. I wrote the introduction in the black colour of red, which links back to the house style and dominant colours of my magazine, which I think helps make it stand out to the reader and makes it easy to locate.